Hi, I'm Laura Cox, Shield Healthcare's Ostomy Lifestyle Specialist, and today we're going to be talking about 6 things I wish someone would have told me before ostomy surgery. The first thing that I wish someone would have told me is that you're making the right decision. Making the decision to have ostomy surgery is really scary because there are so many unknowns. And in my case, I was given the choice to have ostomy surgery now or to wait a couple months and it would potentially be emergency surgery. So I made the decision to have ostomy surgery when I was still relatively healthy. And there was a lot of fear that went into that. When I think about that decision and I think about where I am now, 6 years post-op, I absolutely feel like it was the right decision. My quality of life has dramatically improved. The second thing I wish someone would have told me is that you'll feel better after surgery, but it's not a cure for inflammatory bowel disease. I think that I went into surgery hoping that I would feel 100% better after surgery, but I still have the extraintestinal manifestations of my autoimmune disease. For me, that usually is just a little bit of arthritic pain, some canker sores, sometimes a random fever. But that being said, I feel so much better. I just want to make sure that people don't go into the surgery expecting a total cure for inflammatory bowel disease. In some instances, it can cure colon cancer or bladder cancer, but for something like inflammatory bowel disease, it's more of a treatment. The third thing I wish someone had told me is that life with an ostomy is different, but it's not devastating. So living with an ostomy is very different. You are now going to the bathroom a different way. You're missing a part of your gastrointestinal tract or your urinary tract, depending on what type of ostomy you have. But you're still able to do the things you like to do with an ostomy, and life is totally manageable and beautiful with an ostomy. The next thing I wish someone would have told me is that it's okay to be scared and sad, but you didn't lose. I think that when I went through ostomy surgery, I felt like I should be brave and I shouldn't be scared, but going through any surgical procedure can be scary, and I think it's okay to acknowledge those emotions and even to receive support around them. Another thing I want to make sure that people know is that you didn't lose to your disease or your illness. I think for a long time, I thought that my ulcerative colitis won because it was taking my colon from me. But truly, you aren't trying to preserve your colon or your bladder, you're trying to preserve your way of life, and having ostomy surgery is a way to succeed at that, to have a beautiful life and to really preserve that way of life. The next thing that I wish someone would have told me is that you will be able to do all of the things that you used to be able to do, and probably some new things too. So for me, that means hiking and being in a beautiful place like Vasquez Rocks, rock climbing, swimming, jogging, all sorts of things. It really has enabled me to go to places like this and not worry where the restroom is, and to not worry about my physical health and just enjoy life. And it's also inspired me to try new things, advocating, making videos, traveling, and you're able to do all of that with an ostomy. The last thing that I wish someone would have told me is that you'll be able to find meaning out of all of the experiences that ostomy surgery has brought to your life. Pain, surgery, chronic illness, and living with an ostomy has taught me so much. It has made me really flexible. It's allowed me to be empathic to other people's pain, and it has allowed me to have an immense amount of gratitude in my life that I don't think I would have had before ostomy surgery. I feel incredibly grateful just to be sitting here, not worrying about where the next restroom is, not being in pain, and being able to truly enjoy the moment without the anxieties, the illness or cancer or whatever gave you your ostomy. I've been able to enjoy my life so much more after ostomy surgery.